Hey guys, I'm back again. It is Tuesday, the 6th of August. Um, I just saw this uh, article from The Hill. It's called "Social Media Bots Post Threat Against 2020" by Maggie Miller. Posted this morning. Says the spread of disinformation by bots on social media platforms remain a persistent problem ahead of 2020 election, with experts warning the fake accounts could exploit divisions in American society. What's your name? Maggie Miller. You are a threat to American society. The Hill is a threat. The government is a threat. What you're trying to do is very obvious, at least to me and anybody that has any fucking clue what's going on in this country. You are pushing a narrative, Maggie Miller, that is not factual. I think the government is using the Hill, obviously, as they usually do every single day, to push a narrative that some type of Russian bots or bot team is spreading misinformation. And to an extent, that may be true, that there are people online that push a false narrative, and you're one of them. I saw this a lot in 2016, and Bernie Sanders, he went on mainstream media, like CNN and MSNBC, telling people that the reason Hillary Clinton didn't win is because of Russian bots and social media bots and all that. Now, I know that in 2016, there were a lot of fake Facebook accounts that were, I don't know whether they were bots or whether they were paid infiltrators. They went into the Bernie groups and they were made admins by Will Dowd. He was admin on a lot of Bernie groups. He sold out. He sold out his groups. He sold out his followers in those pages. And those accounts, I believe they had Macedonia on their Facebook location. A lot of them did. That does not mean they were from Russia. That does not mean they were from Macedonia. That means that's what they wanted us to believe. Those bots were posting clickbait to confuse the American public. And I would even consider what they were doing muddying the waters, which is exactly what Hillary Clinton and the Podesta emails proved they were going to do. They were going to muddy the waters around attacks on Hillary Clinton and her campaign, and things involving money laundering, people that were exposing her for her own crimes. Okay, and a lot of the information that we have on Hillary Clinton was thanks to WikiLeaks and thanks to Julian Assange and Seth Rich. Okay. So these bots or these trolls, I call them the trolls, 2016 trolls, it happened literally the month that within 30 days of Seth Rich dying, Sean Lucas dying, that's when this fucking happened. So don't keep pushing this narrative because we're fucking sick of it. Maggie Miller and The Hill, we're sick of it. We're sick of being lied to because a New York judge just fucking threw out the lawsuit where the DNC was claiming that Russia, WikiLeaks, and Trump's all colluded against the DNC because you know that's a fucking lie. And I know that you're some, entitled white millennial that thinks you have a grasp on reality, but you don't. And the narrative that you're pushing is unfactual. And you're pushing a narrative because you feel like you have that authority to because the government says that you're allowed to lie. Your company says you're allowed to lie. You're allowed to manipulate people into thinking that our elections are rigged solely because of these media bots. You're getting people to dismiss new information because they're going to assume that it's some misinformation campaign because you're fucking telling them to. You have no integrity, Maggie Miller. None. And you make me sick. And you should make, everybody should be calling you out right now for convincing people that the reason that Hillary Clinton and the Democratic Party didn't win is because of some other outside evil force. They didn't win because they're a terrorist organization. They didn't win because they pushed a candidate that was so unpalatable that it made people literally support Trump over them. And they're setting us up for another rigged election. They're making excuses, and you're pushing that narrative for them. You really should be ashamed of yourself. You have zero integrity. I'm reading this verbatim. It says, the threats from bots, which are fake or automated social media accounts, is nothing new, but the hashtags has revived a debate over how prevalent bots actually are. Some warn disinformation from fake accounts is intensifying, while others say those hashtags were promoted by regular Twitter users. I'm really sick of this. I don't understand how the American people are not outraged at this blatant false narrative. And then she brings up QAnon, Trump 2020, Make America Great Again, saying that these bots are pushing this idea. You know what? Maybe they are. Maybe the government is paying people to push propaganda, telling people to support both sides of the oligarchy. We know that fucking Hillary Clinton and the DNC are doing it. We know the DNC makes fake Craigslist ads to manipulate voters. We know this. The alleged bots, I believe, were DNC operatives, people that were suppressing Bernie and anti-establishment, or at least at the time I thought it was anti-establishment content. I thought they were just suppressing us because Bernie was anti-establishment, but in reality, they were just making Bernie into a victim so we would support him. And they're doing that fucking now with Trump and the QAnon people. They're suppressing them. They're discrediting them to make them feel like they're victims and make them work harder to vote and support Trump. So the Democrats and Maggie Miller, you're helping Trump. You're hurting the American people. You're not being a journalist right now. You're being a shill. You're being a liar, and you should be called out. Because that lawsuit against Russia, Trump, and WikiLeaks was thrown out due to blatant lack of evidence. So you're setting the tone now for when the Democrats lose in 2020, blaming Russia again. You're milking that. You're milking that Russiagate for all it's worth, getting all of it out, making use out of it, manipulating the American people, pushing a false narrative, because that's all you know. Because you're a shill. You have no research ability. You have no grasp on reality. And you don't care because you're making money. You're working for a huge news organization that doesn't have any grasp on reality. As if you fucking care about suppression, as if you fucking care about misinformation, because you're doing it right now. The people that claim to care about false news, you are false news, Maggie Miller. You are false news. Then you quote Zuckerberg. Who gives a fuck about Zuckerberg? He's a shill too. He works with the DNC too. That was in the Podesta emails. They admitted, their higher ups, the CEOs, they admitted they helped to elect Hillary Clinton and they failed. But who knows what they were fucking doing? And then that whole bullshit with the Facebook war room. That was suppressing people like me. People that call out the corruption. I'm not a right winger, so fuck you. I'm not a Russian, so fuck you. You want to pretend that my voice is a Russian bot? Fuck you. I'm not. And I think I've proven that getting out in the street enough times. People know who I am now. And they see who you are, Maggie Miller. We've had enough. If you have had enough too, share this video. Because they're not going to stop. They're going to keep lying to us. They're going to keep lying to the stupid fucking Americans that have no grasp on reality because they've just been eating up all this propaganda for years. And they're gaslit and they're manipulative. They're manipulated and they need our help. You know, the truth hurts. You know what hurts worse? Having a government that convinces its own people that censorship is a good thing. You know, I mean, we have to do something. We have to call these people out because they have a platform. They make money off of saying whatever the government wants them to say. And there is no honor in that. There is no honor in reporting cybersecurity if you're going to be a fucking liar. All right. Hopefully this is the last video for today. I'll make another tomorrow.